Guys, gals, non-binary pals, welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. We have a lot to discuss because apparently I can't stop thinking, talking, dreaming about the L word. And I mean, am I even buying clothes because they remind me of clothes in the L word? Yes, but we're not here to discuss that. We're here to discuss the second half of the L word Generation Q season 2. And I left this to now because although like quite a few things happened in episode 6, I knew that it was going to be like a karaoke episode, so I didn't want to dive too deep into things that are going on because now that we only have 4 episodes left, what am I going to do with my life when this show ends? We are really ramping up to the season finale and what I'm sure is going to be cliffhanger after cliffhanger. So I want to get into some thoughts, theories, predictions today. I did go back through an excessive amount of my pictures, stories, videos, all like my personal notes and like pictures and things. So I hope that this kind of gives you theories and thoughts for what is going to happen in the second half of the season. Going back through everything, I was kind of surprised how much we were right about. So without any further ado, let's get into talking about everything that's going to happen in the second half of the L Word Generation Q season 2. And I'm going to start out with the 2 biggest things. Is there an OG cast member returning and when? And what's happening with Bette and Tina. So let's talk about the OG cast member first. So way back in the filming process, I talked about Helena returning.
Wow. Well, the woman sure knows how to create a media event.
And we did originally think that she was going to return in the episode Luck Be a Lady.
Hello, Bette. I'll be just a minute, Helena. Is everything all right? What is going on here? What are you doing? I'm here to publicize our
after the titles were released, but now it seems as though she is going to be appearing around episode 8. It could be earlier, it could be after, just because of the way the filming process is. But when I go back in my records and looking at this picture that we know is definitely taken during the filming of 206, the next thing is the Helena news came out, like if you go back in my Instagram. So the way they film things, they had to break it up and do like block shooting, but it definitely seems as though right after this picture was taken, the Helena news came out. So it definitely seems as though we're going to be getting Helena very soon. And that moves into talking about Bette and Tina. Now, when you look at like all the casting and things, it's very surprising that Jordan Hull, who plays Angie, she's in episode 8, and that seems to be the big prom episode. I'll put some pictures on the screen so you can see. And then it seems as though Jordan Hull isn't in episode 10. I'd be very surprised if that was the case, but usually IMDb, especially at this stage in production, is very accurate for casting and things. So that is surprising. But then if Laurel Holloman is in 9 and 10, which she is, there seems as though there's going to be a lot of Bette and Tina scenes because Carrie isn't in 9 and 10. She's in episode 7. So if we have all these Bette and Tina time scenes, honestly guys, just when I've been editing this video and going back and like looking at it again, I think that maybe episode 9 has just not got accurate cast, which is very odd for IMDb because it's usually very accurate. So I think that maybe Jordan Hull, Sophia, who plays Geordie, and Rosie O'Donnell just aren't on it. Although Rosie did say she was only in 3 episodes, 1, 5, and 7, so that makes sense. She didn't say 1, 5, and 7, but yeah, maybe 9 just isn't accurate, and Rosie, Sophia, and Jordan are actually in it. But that still leaves episode 10 with plenty of Bette and Tina scenes. do we think that we're actually finally going to get a Bette, Tina, Alice, and Shane scene? I definitely think so. And is it too much to ask if we get a Bette, Tina, Alice, Shane, and Helena scene? I mean, that's really asking a lot. That's really asking a lot.
That's great! Alice, we're not back together. Well, I'm just saying hi. Hi. So what do you guys do together?
So speaking specifically about Bette and Tina, I do have a video out called the Bette and Tina theory, and I'll kind of summarize it quickly here. Bette at Sophie and Danny's wedding said to Shane that it was the most selfish thing she'd ever seen whenever Finley obviously showed up at the wedding. And ever since that, I've just kept thinking that there is going to be some callback to that, because they're very into like this bookending thing in the show, and it just seems too perfect to line it up, especially the way we've seen Bette behaving this season. And okay, maybe Bette is not gonna walk into a wedding and absolutely stop in the middle of it, but I do think that there is going to be some sort of Bette putting her feelings on the line.
Okay. What's happening?
And the only thing that kind of works against this theory is the fact that Pippa is in the rest of the season, and judging by the few little clips and pictures and things, it seems that Bette is really, really into her. And, you know, maybe she's still with Pippa, and then there's some tiny little, you know, Bette and Tina crumbs, but I definitely think there's going to be something with them towards the end of the season. Copyrighted song, but I think this is seared in everyone's memory, like myself. So next, I'm just going to move into talking about some locations, and we do seem to be gearing towards another airport scene. I know last episode, in episode 6, we did get Sophie saying to Finley that, I'm sorry I didn't go to Kansas City with you. And this picture was shared on the behind the scenes Instagram, and it shows, like, it looks as though it's the airport scene from last season. So I don't know whether they'll do like a flashback to that and show us what happened finally, because it does seem really strange that we haven't gotten that. I know that we know like the fallout, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. And then we also have gotten pictures of them filming on one of those airplane stages where it's just like a few seats, so like the cameras can move around and stuff. So it definitely seems as though we're gearing up for another airport drama cliffhanger. And there's also some other things that are giving us an indication of storyline. I mean, there's definitely some hospital scenes. Now, knowing what we know, that would make me think that that is Angie going to meet Marcus. And then we also don't see Angie for 9 and 10 apparently, so it definitely will be interesting to see what goes down in 8, because again, like, it is a prom episode and there's been like quite a lot of focus on that, so it'll definitely be interesting to see what's going on. And when it comes to other locations, we've got some hints at everything that's going down with Danny and her dad. And Carlos Leal, whenever they were filming towards the end of the season, he was saying that he and Ari Mandy had some pretty intense scenes. So we did also get these pictures of him in a courtroom. So it definitely seems as though they're moving quickly along with Danny's dad, and hopefully we get some indication as to really what is going on, because they've kind of just left it up in this he's in trouble thing. So we might get some more, you know, definitive info on what's going on there. These are some other things that I've just noticed that I can't really, you know, go into too much information as to what is going on here, but In the season finale, it seems as though Jacqueline Tobani has a stunt of some kind. So they're listing her stunt double in the IMDb page. So there's also like a stunt coordinator and stuff. They do also seem to have filmed at like a little animal farm and a place that looks like really, really beautiful. And it was all like moss and like leaves and stuff on the front and vines. So there was a scene where they had like all strung up lights in the background. So that would make you think that it's some like event or big thing. So again, like I don't know whether now we'll actually see anything moving towards Carrie and Tina's wedding, because it just seems as though when they said in the beginning of the season that it was going to be this summer, and we did keep getting these little check-ins of time, which again, bravo, because the L word never really recognizes the concept of time. So we kept seeing on text messages and things that it was March and April and May. So that was leading me to believe that that's what we were barreling towards at the end of the season. But just the fact that Carrie's not in the rest of the episodes, I don't think we'll be seeing anything leading towards that. So we do seem to be gearing up for a very fun-filled, drama-filled second half of the season. And with only 4 episodes left, there just seems to be so much going on, and I'm really, really excited to see where we leave everyone for the end of the season, especially all the couples. It does seem as though Nat is in next episode and then she's not in any more episodes. And then it really seems to strip down for the last 2 episodes, where we only have pretty much Laurel Holloman and Vanessa Williams guest starring in any capacity. A lot of the other guest stars, I mean, there's Gigi's brother who's going to appear in episode 10, but there really doesn't seem to be anyone else except, again, Laurel Holloman and Vanessa Williams in the last 2 episodes. And they kind of did this with the last season finale, where it really was just the main cast, their storylines, wrapping as much as they can up for the season, and then kind of leaving everyone in this very much like cliffhangery, but then also kind of leaving it like, okay, they have this outlook or what's going to go on next season and things to look forward to, and still kind of leave us in limbo in a little bit of a way, because I really, really would not be shocked if we're left in a couple of cliffhangers this season, but I'm sure there'll be a pretty big one knowing the L Word Generation Q. So let me know what you think about the second half of season 2. And I mean, when it comes to the trailers, we obviously will keep getting the week-to-week trailers, but pretty much everything has been shown that's in the teasers and the big trailer that we got, and even the trailer that had like the little tiny bit in it that just showed like the promposal and what looks to be like a musical number. So I think after episode 8, we don't have anything at all. We don't even have any pictures. We have a few little behind the scenes thing, but they were really, really tight-lipped about 9 and 10. So I wouldn't be surprised. Again, this was how I felt about episode 4 and 5, that were kind of like a 2-parter. So I really wouldn't be surprised if we get that with 9 and 10, considering the cast again is stripped way down. And I'm just really excited to see the rest of the season, but also I really don't want it to end. So let me know what you think down in the comment section. Make sure to follow me on social media, because I post a lot of pictures and other information, especially on Instagram. Make sure that you check out my brand new podcast, Drinks at Dana's, that goes over the show every week. And make sure to check out my reviews, trailer breakdowns every week for that new episode of the L Word Generation Q. And I also have an L Word merch store, a Patreon, and a competition running at the moment to win signed Jennifer Beals photo print that you can get by commenting on any of my reviews, but you must be a subscriber. And you can comment on any of my trailer breakdowns to win some free merch. So make sure to stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.